I know that it's really bleeding into Tuesday, but we good. We good, and we gonna be a little better. So what's up, y'all? What's up? What's good? What's good? Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show, tall in the saddle once again. So let's do it like this. Brother, Keith Tyler, what you doing up? What up, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is daily, the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show. We do this every single day, every day it rains, every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby, every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show, all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show, we are talking about military parade, no kings protest, war in Iraq, But, well, I mean, we're not at war, or are we? Are we? G7 summit. It's a whole lot of things going on, man. There are a whole lot of things going on. One thing I can always say about a Trump presidency is that it's like he don't sleep and he ain't gonna let you get no rest. You won't be resting easy. You won't be resting easy. Sometimes I wish I could be a MAGA supporter because they seem to be able to thrive through all of this. Like I want to know what it's like not to worry about nothing. Because it seems like, if they are worried about anything, it ain't showing. It's not peeking through it's not making its way through the blinds. It's not creeping through the curtains or anything like that. Or unless they all just lying. But one thing is for sure, that military parade, dictator parade, whatever you want to call it, fascist parade, birthday celebration, military birthday celebration that they had on Saturday for Donald Trump. I don't know if that's symbolic of a shift in political thought or alliance. I don't know. I'm not ready to declare any victories or anything like that. But it has me wondering if So let's get it popping. Let's talk. Let's go ahead and get this conversation started. To cold act ill or get retarded. Because y'all know, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with the political news, all the things that have been happening, but it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Okay. It's a lot, yo. Damn, this shit seems low as hell. Hold on. It can't be this low. Yeah, it can't be this low. Damn. There you go. Put me in the air. Put me in the air a little bit. All right. Turn on our devices. So what's up with y'all, man? What's good? So let's talk about it. What up, T. Carey, right? Morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And also, my brother Keith Tyler is all up in the house. What's going on, my G? And Imani Willonja. Imani Willonja. What's good? If I butchered your name, charge it to my head, not my heart. Definitely not my intention. Dimples D's, what's good, ma? What's good? Thanks for coming on through. And CF, what up, CF? So yeah, there's a whole the political climate right now is crazy. I'm not ready to say it's in shambles, but there's so much going on. It's almost like you don't know where to start. Like you got to pick your poison in all of this. It's like you really have to pick your poison in this whole thing. Hold on, my mic hanging off. Hold on now. Hold on. I think I saw it. I had a microphone hold on. Sorry, I don't mean be banging that in your ear. No diddy. Banging that in your ear. All right, we good? Okay. But yeah, the political climate is crazy. There's so much stuff going on politically. Like you sort of have to take the eeny, meeny, miny, mo approach. Like which political issue are you gonna attack first? Or are you gonna attach yourself to, or are you gonna address, or are you gonna worry about? We still have high inflation. Gas prices are still high. I don't know where y'all are in this country or around the world, but in the United States, which is our focus, in Philly, where I'm from, the gas is still high. $3 a gallon. You know, in some places more than $3 a gallon. So that's what's going on. What up, Jihad? What up, Jihad? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, my dude. You already know. Salute. So gas is high. Food is through the roof. Food is through the roof. And the bullshit is when you start talking about food and gas, you're really talking about inflation. And so you have to start talking about tariffs and shit. You gotta start that tariff conversation. Now, as far as the markets are concerned, I'm talking about the supermarket. Y'all might call it the grocery store, wherever your neck of the woods is. But where I'm from, we call it the market, which is short for supermarket. Anyway, that's where we buy food. That's where we buy food. So at the market, certain things that I know aren't even imported are high. Grapes. I thought we got grapes in the United States. Pineapple. We might get pineapple from South America or somewhere tropical, but we have tropical regions in the United States. So I'm not so sure. But these are the things that I eat. I eat a lot of produce. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables and shit like that. So when I see that kind of stuff going up, I'm like, can you blame that on tariffs? I don't know. CF says there's too much on my plate. I can't eat that much. I understand. And he also says, or he or she, no disrespect. I eat grapes when I walk. Already went there. Okay, cool. Basquiat, the GOAT, big salute, boss from Puerto Rico. Ho, Puerto Rico. Ho, Puerto Rico. What's up, man? Boricuas en la casa. ¿Cómo estás? And K-Cell was good. Man, I'm feeling like a real man should, man. Thanks for coming through. Y'all appreciate it. So yeah, man. This it's like I said, so the tariffs, the inflation, that big beautiful bill trying to take away people's Medicare, Medicaid. I got an elderly parent. I got an elderly mom who depends on that type of shit. So, that's not really a joking matter for me, or that's not something I can just sweep under the rug. Like I'm 54 years old. Shit, I ain't that far off from needing that shit. So, this is real shit. Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. A lot of people are on government funded programs, which are essentially welfare programs, and they don't know it. A lot of people are on welfare programs and they don't even know that they are. So they quick to say what they're not doing and what they're not taking advantage of. And I think a lot of people don't even really know. My man Buana Haguski was good. So, I mean? He said the sun colored shirt. I never really thought about it like that. Keith Tyler said, your president looked like a taco. I see you've been watching liberal news channels. That's what's up, though. That's what's up. I ain't mad at it. But yeah, shit is real right now. But tonight I want to talk about the events that happened this past weekend. If y'all are up on what happened this past weekend. Now you got mad, all last week you had the protests going on in California. The National Guard came through, the Marines and shit, beating people beating Americans' heads in. Americans and foreigners. You know what I'm saying? Well, Mexicans, South Americans, Caribbeans, you know what I mean? This shit is going down. This is crazy. And you got to think, like, the week before then, Elon Musk calling Trump out about the big beautiful bill and calling him out on the whole Jeff Epstein thing. That was 2 weeks ago. It's almost like it never happened now. So much shit has gone down since then. It's almost like that didn't even happen. Now you got Israel attacking Iraq. They are at full war. And they like, yo, US, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? You've been protecting Israel all this time. What you gonna do now? You're like, damn, I don't really want it with Iran. You know what I mean? I don't really want it. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get jihadist on me. No disrespect, my man G. But yeah, I mean, this is real shit. So like I said, the whole Elon Musk thing, Elon Musk against Trump, it's almost like that never happened. That's like on the back burner. What's up, Oxy? What's good? And productions, let me see. Hold on. Productions T3RX Oh, you'll send me $50 if I find a job. All right, well, then send me the $50. You know what I mean? You know, I can give you the Cash App right now. I promise you, I'll find a job by the morning. I promise you. I guarantee you I'll find a job by the morning. Damn. You done fucked with TK. She said, production, give it to your mother so she doesn't have to work the corner tonight. Ooh. Eda Dickenstein. Productions, Eda Dickenstein. All right. Tricky 2K says every 3 videos is a grown man on live like a teenager. Oh, so going live is just for young people. Oh yeah. So what are these teenagers that are going live? What are they talking about? And are you a teenager? So you would know? Because I have topics every night. I'm on every single day. And I've been on every single day for 15 years. Well, no, because I used to come on just 2 times a week. And then since October 1st, 2014, I've been on every single day, 365 days a week. So you can look that up too. I mean, 365 days a year. You can look that up. But I'm not here to impress no bitch ass niggas like you. You know what I mean? Let's get something established right now. Y'all see that it's a phone number up here. If y'all want to call in and express your grievances or express your thoughts, you can call in. And you know, I'll give you time to say whatever you want to say. You can get it in. But just know I clap back. I'm trained at this. I was a stand-up comedian for years. You can't fucking beat me. Not with a microphone and a camera. You can't fuck with me at all. I will crush you. Because I know your bitch ass is not going to call that number because you can't get your words straight. You're not trained at this. I am. I will fuck you up. Your heart is already beating now because I done called you out. And I know you're not going to do it. You know why? Because you're pussy. But I'm not here to talk about these bitch ass niggas tonight. Y'all can troll all you want. You can troll all you want. So let's get it popping. You talking about something, you that bored? Bored? Motherfucker, it's 2:00 in the morning. Anybody that's here right now is here on purpose. Said rage bait to eat. That's and that's the funny thing. Motherfuckers think that when you respond to them, they want to convince you that they was just trying to get a rise out of you. Motherfucker, I can't see your face. I can't see your face. So it means nothing. It means nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I do know this. You are a bitch ass nigga. Because only a bitch ass nigga will troll. But it's okay. I understand. Johnny West, what's good? Flying in for work right now. Mad worried about an attack because of this Israeli-Iran thing. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter. And it's a funny thing because a couple of weeks ago when everybody was talking about, or everybody's concentration was on the Elon Musk Trump war or whatever, everybody was saying it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction to keep your mind off of this, that, and the third. I'm like, everything he do, you got to keep your mind on. You can't ignore nothing because the boy's toxic. This is the most toxic president I've ever seen in my life. He can't stay out of shit. He cannot stay out of shit. I've never met anybody like this. Normally everybody I've never known in my life, when they got in trouble, they laid low for a little while. They chilled for a little while. You know what I mean? They played a wall, you know, like, all right, yeah, I crossed the line, or I'm going right up to the line, but I'm a chill. This motherfucker, he'd be like, no, full speed ahead. Boom. You think that crazy shit I did? You think that crazy shit I did yesterday was something? Watch till you see what I do today and tomorrow. Word. Oh, CF, you said it's 12:21 there. All right, so you on mountain time? You on mountain time? Where do you live where it's mountain time? Oh, well, Arizona is mountain time, ain't it? Part of Arizona? But wherever you are, it's all good. It's all good. Tay Mason, what's good? Let me see. All right, so okay, so like I said, there's so much shit going on that you kind of have to pick your poison. You kind of have to pick your poison about which political issue is going to take up more of your concentration, because there's more than enough. It's like a smorgasbord. This is all you can eat. This is a buffet of bullshit politics. It's crazy. But you know, that military parade that Trump had on Saturday, I want to know what y'all thought about that, because the turnout was low as hell. Trump and Fox News, they trying to kick it like it was all these people out there, and not as many people as he thought. He thought it was going to be 250,000 people out there. It wasn't even a quarter of 250. It wasn't even a quarter of 250,000. It wasn't even 50,000 people out there. It wasn't 40,000, 30,000. It might have been at the most maybe 10, 15,000. That's a failure for what it was expected to be the turnout. So I want to know what y'all think about that. Was that low turnout? Was that symbolic of a shift in political thinking, political alliance, political movement? Like, is there something different happening? Do you think there's a better reason for why people didn't come out for Trump? You know what I mean? Because he can, 20,000 people, he can do that at one rally. On the campaign trail, he's been known to do it multiple times. So if not that many people came out, and we're talking about Washington, D.C., we're talking about a parade route and the mall. Do you think that maybe people were afraid to come out because of maybe threat of military action? Because Trump was saying if anybody protests the military parade, as he was calling it or whatever, do you think maybe people were like concerned about their safety? I mean, it's a legitimate concern. It's a legitimate concern. Meanwhile, all around the country, they were having the No Kings parade, or No Kings marches, No Kings protests. My bad. The No Kings protest. So, is Trump running out of steam? Are people waking up to Trump on some old like, yo, man, I was rocking with him until he did. I was down with him till he. I was on the. All right, let's see how this go. We have a caller on the line. Caller on the line. Let's let her in and get her shine.
You have a call from.
My bad. All right. Make sure you turn down, you know what I mean? Turn out that thing. Turn out that sound. What's going on? Caller with the last number is 5639. What's good?
Hey. Hey, family. Hey. I was wrong with the system, too, because I called 3 times, just so you know.
Oh, for real? Oh, I don't know. Then don't give me the line. Don't give me the line.
Yeah. Just a heads up. So...
What you trying to think about where to start? Dive in the water. Don't test the water. Dive in that shit. You know what I mean? I want you off the diving board. Don't let me find you sticking your toe in the water to see what it feels like. Get in.
I mean, it's not just the crowd at his pretend baby parade. It's even more.
Wait. Your phone breaking up crazy.
Oh, come on. Is it still doing it?
You sound better now. You sounded awfully crispy. You sound your phone is, oh my God, your phone is crumbling like a bag of chips. It sounds like somebody. All right, do that. Okay. All right, Tate Mason says what they show up on TV here in NZ. What's NZ? That's not Arizona. That's not Nevada. What is NZ? Or did you mean North Dakota? Okay, it's false. So hard to understand for some. Look bad. All right. Jihad said I can look at my orange in my room, in my home. I could dig it. Keith says I think people are tired of the bullshit and getting a seat for what he really is. Johnny West says I can look at an orange in my home too, and I live on the East Coast. I just gotta buy oranges. Y'all tripping. All right. But yeah, I mean, that was a bad look. You know, no matter how the media tries to spin it, you know, Fox or right-wing media, conservative media, they tried to kick it like a lot of people came out. Okay, you can't say that a lot of people didn't come out, but with depending on the expectation, when you look at the expectation of the numbers that they were looking to have come out, y'all did shit numbers. You were looking for 250,000 people. You know what I mean? This was supposed to be your Kim Jong-un moment. And yo, did you watch some of the footage of that shit? Did you see the soldiers marching? Come on, man. Yo, hold on, man. Did you see the soldiers marching? Now, you know soldiers are supposed to march in lockstep. You know, you a lot of times you'll have a drill sergeant, you know what I mean? Step 1, 2, 1, 2, you know. They was not marching, they was walking. Real shit, you gotta see the footage. They can't even hide that. You can't Photoshop that. The soldiers were simply walking down the street. And you gotta wonder if that was a form of a silent protest. Was that a way of saying like, yo, man, you ain't got no business doing this. Like this country don't do that. Have tanks rolling down the street and all this military equipment and shit, you know what I mean, on city streets. We don't do that. We don't do that. We've never, the United States, for whatever you think about the United States, They have never had to show their force visibly. They haven't had to do that. Only countries who need those intimidation tactics do that shit. And the reason why a lot of people were calling it a dictator parade was because in countries where there is a dictator is where they do that shit. And it's normally, and the parade is normally centered around that emperor or that dictator, or I really don't like to use the word dictator because the American media calls anybody a dictator who runs a government contrary to democracy, like there's no other way for people to be governed or to be satisfied with government except for American democracy. And I don't buy that. But a dictator is a dictator, and a dictator is one who has pretty much total control over the people in his country and the way that the government runs. And those are where those types of marches take place. So, you know, I heard a tape where Donald Trump was caught on audio saying that Kim Jong-un has total control of his people, and he wants that for himself too in the United States. Like, he's on audio saying this kind of shit. Now, you know, at this point, I'm not as trustful of the media as I may have been at a different time in my life, because whether it's right-wing media or left-wing media, they both spread propaganda. So if you don't understand camera work, production, and the way words are said, and the way videos are edited and chopped up and put back together to make, you know, how they'll give you those little 2-3 second sound bites, maybe 20 seconds, and then they explain the story leading up to this little clip. So by the time they play this little video clip, they've already primed you to believe everything that they say. I get all of that. I get it. So I'm not really, you know, you got to think more critically. And that's what type time I'm on. But nonetheless, there are some things that are literally black and white. There are some things that you can pretty much bank on. So where are we with this thing? All right. Call it with the last numbers 5639. We ready? We good? Are we clear?
Is this better?
It's much better.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to get to, with the military and how they responded. They really were just like, fuck this. They were really like, I don't want to do this. I'm not here for this. I'm out. And they completely checked out, and you could tell in the movement. Everything about that was a mess. And to add insult to injury, not only Mark Rubio yawning, not only Melania looking at him with a smirk on her face when he looked at his worst, like he couldn't take it anymore, but then Putin decided to troll his ass. And that in and of itself was the icing on the cake. Because of course we know he's not going to respond or say anything. But Putin went in. I'm like, what do you do? Like, it was pure international shade. That's what it was. And he compared it to how China has precision in their parade. And he demolished it. And again, this man he is just a global embarrassment. And the sad part is, this definitely shifts how our allies and our adversaries perceive U.S. leadership and the country in and of itself. Like, he wanted this big red square respect, and his ass got a small town float energy kind of thing with Russian commentary that accelerates the narrative of nothingness. So,
go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to add, U.S. military parades have always signaled some kind of strength and unity for the country. And now with this whole thing, it just signals detachment. and our rivals are laughing. He said during the Biden era, the United States was laughing stock. No, sir. No, 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 no. It's now. It's not only is the United States a laughing stock to everyone else, but it just shows a weakness.
I know. I know it's not the show of strength that he was looking for.
Not at all.
Yeah, that thing was nasty.
Well, I mean, in their delusional world, he believes he had a whole bunch of people. I mean, he had a bunch of invisible people. Maybe that's a new power that we don't know anything about. Maybe Elon introduced them to something new with artificial intelligence, holograms that are just invisible, and we need to prepare for it because he said what he had 200,000. I mean, okay, sounds realistic in his own head of stupidity.
Hold on, XSF in the oh no, that's not XSF. X at F. I don't know. Whatever that says. He says, I'd be more worried about the bombs that cost more than a parade each. But okay, buddy. Well, yeah. Well, during a time when inflation is at an all-time high and where people elected a leader based on the fact that he said that he could lower prices and make everything better because he's the best thing that ever happened to this country. Well, you know, so yeah, pardon me if I just expect him to deliver on certain things, like, you know, reducing spending when you created a whole department called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency,
that has
failed miserably. And so you're wasting money on shit that's not necessary. So it's like you're throwing good money after bad. But yeah, okay, buddy.
He spent $60 million on this dumbass parade.
I'm saying, like, you know, it's just funny how whatever he wants to do is a necessary cost, but whatever he doesn't want to do, or whatever anybody else has done before him, it needs to be totally eradicated, wiped out, forgotten, and even erased from the history books. So,
well, and then to top it all off, after all of this foolishness over the weekend, and I'm not saying everything was foolishness because, of course, we have some very sad moments that we can't gloss over, and he responded to like an imbecile. Then his ass goes and has a baby tantrum Sunday night because he's so angry about his failed attempt for this parade and all the ridicule that he had to endure. This asshole goes and drops a manifesto on True Social calling for the single largest mass deportation program in history. And now he's specifically targeting people in major Democratic cities. So he's using buzzwords like remigration, which is a white supremacist word, buzzword, and he wants to be specific to prioritize raids in Los Angeles and Chicago and New York. He just went into a list of cities that he wants them to go into, and just they are sticking to this. They need 3,000 arrests a day, and he wants to push it hard. So this is what he came out with Sunday. And yeah, of course, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, he comes up with this mess. But he wants to spare, of course, farms and restaurants and hotels, but he wants to target schools and churches and all these places that just make absolutely no sense. This man.
Well, it makes sense in this regard. At the end of the day, he's just waffling on what he said he was going to do. Now, you know, at first it was we sending them all back. No, well, in the very beginning, he got people to vote for him because he acted like he was just going to send the criminals back. He was just going to deport the illegal aliens who were criminals. Then, you know, we saw that he'll send anybody back, and even Americans, he'll send them to a country where they don't even come from. All right. So now as you're saying, the farm hands and the hotel workers, well, people in the hospitality industry, if you're saying you're not going to target any of them when you know they're going to be illegals in those areas too. So that's pretty much, it sounds like evidence of a payoff. Number one, because you making sure you don't fuck up the money. Just a couple of weeks ago, you wasn't worried about the money. There was civil unrest in California, or peaceful protest, whatever you want to call it, because you wasn't worried about the money. But when somebody gets in your ears or in your pockets, and that's and shows where your biggest influences are coming from, you don't give a fuck about people. You give a fuck about yourself. You give a fuck about yourself, and you give a fuck about money. So the way that you control Donald Trump is to appeal to his ego and his pocketbook, which is part of his ego, or should I say his bank account. I mean, and you can try to deny it all you want. I mean, there's no evidence to suggest otherwise, because he ain't looking out for no working man. He has not done anything for the middle class or anybody that is below seven figures. Not one thing. So, and you can say, yeah, but he's about to. I ain't trying to hear that about to shit. I ain't trying. I would accept that about to shit from anybody who didn't always compare themselves to all their predecessors and have something to say about everybody who doesn't like him, like they're totally incompetent or whatever, when he's the real one who is. So,
the thing is, of course, he doesn't care about people. Of course, he doesn't care about people. This rhetoric he is spewing affects public discourse. It's causing a lot of public discourse, and it's a dangerous normalization. That's what he's doing. He's staging a dangerous normalization, and he's causing more conflict than we need. Now, fortunately, there are enough people, we saw it when they hit the street on Saturday, who are not feeding into it, which is great. It's great to see the unity from people because we know it exists. He just puts it out there like it doesn't, to keep us at each other's throats. Because, when you have people in numbers, I mean, in all honesty, some of these people could have taken the police if they wanted to. If they were as violent as he likes to say, and I don't think anyone stopped to think about it, but if everyone is as violent as he said, the police would have been washed this weekend. That's the honest truth. I watched it all. I watched every city I could get a link to, but I was particularly in Vegas. They had a line in the middle of the street with people, protesters on both sides, and they were just in the middle of the street in a line. It was so many people on both sides that they were as violent as they like to say. These people would have fucked those cops up. That's the honest truth. Because people outnumbered, the protesters outnumber the police in every city. Maybe not in Oregon, but every place else I saw that they did. So just that alone shows you, if these people, if everyone is as violent as like he liked to suggest, then it would have been so much more violence. The violence came at the hand of a lunatic who supports him or whatever, who took 2 lives and injured 2 more. Or I think he killed the husband and wife and then injured another couple.
Are you talking about in Minnesota?
Yeah. And so that was a single person who did that. That's the violent person. But he's not saying anything about that. Not the way he speaks about everything else. Like, the first thing he wants to come out and say all this other nasty stuff in this truth post he put out where he's calling for this and he's still, they're monsters, they're murderers, they're rapists, they're killers. And it's like, sir, you are all of those things if you want to be realistic. You and your wacky ass family who's now, and we are going to gloss over the fact, too, that this moron now has a cell phone service that they're talking about
right?
with
That's
all of
funny
these
as hell.
features. I'm like, these exist every place else, too.
That's funny as hell, boy. This motherfucker be grifted like a motherfucker. But all right. But getting back to the whole military parade, like, I want to ask you, do you think that maybe people didn't come out because they feared violence or whatever? Because I mean, that turnout was ridiculously low.
For his stuff, I just don't think people are as much as in support of him as they were in the beginning. I believe there's a lot of buyer's regret or buyer's remorse. I believe there's a lot of that. And they don't want to display or show that in the media. But I believe if you sit down at the table with a lot of people who voted for him, there's a different conversation. I know one of my clients voted for him, and she didn't vote for him because she really wanted him, but she just disliked Biden so much, so she didn't want to see him in office at the time. And she didn't want Kamala. She didn't want Biden. She wanted a Democrat in because she was dissatisfied. So she voted for him, and then she said immediately after she voted for him, she stepped out of the booth and was like, "I need to go back and do this over." And she's been dissatisfied since. And even that amount of frustration has grown to the point where she is in the process of changing her overall political party. And she just talked about how many people, because she lives in Florida, and how many of her neighbors who, at first in the beginning, even in 2016, thought he would be a good thing for the country when it comes to finances, because everybody was about their bottom dollar. And then, they came to see that, what the fuck about your money? He doesn't give a shit about you or your money. So, no, you don't win. And it's hindering everyone else in the country because she has an elderly mother who, gets Medicare and all this stuff because she's retired. And she has a disabled sibling who has to have some kind of funding, government assistance for funding because the bills are astronomical for her mom. And these things are affecting her. And so she's saying that that was a bad decision. And I believe that's the reason why there wasn't a turnout like that. I think it's more people who are so disappointed, disgusted, and exhausted with him that they didn't turn out like that. Not like they did for the No Kings protest.
See, I just don't know because the No Kings protesters, of course they're gonna show up and show out, but they already know what it's hitting for. I don't think MAGA is as tough as they pretended they were. I mean, you got to think like Trump is a pussy, straight up and down. But of course, any pussy, like in a gang, the weak one is in the gang because of the stronger ones. So he's looking for protection. So that's why he talked all that tough Tony shit. But when anybody stands up against him or stands up to him, he wilts. And he changes the narrative and all of that to make it seem like he didn't back down. But I mean, come on, man. I mean, anybody who's ever dealt with a sucker before knows what time it is. Anybody who has dealt with a punk before knows all you have to do is stand up to him, and then something magical is going to happen. He's going to wilt. And that's what we're dealing with. He runs his whole regime on fear. He's a fear-based president. Everything is about fear. Oh, I'll do this to you. If you mess with me, I'll do it. And you're not going to do shit. You're not going to do shit. But you will do some things if nobody stands up to you. That's the crazy part.
Enough people stood up to him. Enough people in power. Like the whole thing with Terry Moran, I feel like ABC should have stood behind their reporter versus we're just going to fire you. And they didn't. those people like that, because I think if that entire, everyone who brings in the funding to ABC, if everyone stopped watching, and if all of them decided to take a day and just walk out, ABC would realize that he can't control them. Like, he's not going to line the owners of ABC, he's not lining their pockets. It's a consumer and their product that's lining their pockets. It's not him, and he'll never be able to. He could never take away from them something that he didn't give them. And I don't think they even realize or recognize that he's just blowing smoke. That's like the time he said, "Do you want to see me go back behind stage and kick some ass?" I would have been like, "Yes, sir, I do. Please go do that. Let's see what happens."
Well, no, they have legitimate reasons to be wary of him because he's very litigious. He's a suing type motherfucker, and while you're suing, you get caught up in fees and time and effort and all of that, and it makes it harder for you to make moves. Plus, as far as media is concerned, he will move on them. Any media that is against him, he will move on them. So they have legitimate cause to of concern, because like you look at MSNBC, they were already hurting for cash, so he could like drop the bomb on them at any time. They hanging on by a thread, but you know, I'm wondering if, like, all right, even though this little bit of people that are here right now, the Trump supporters, they still all in. So I'm like, all right, one thing about MAGA is that because they follow Trump and they believe everything that Trump says, they're going to hang on a lot longer. It's just like the Confederacy, the South hung in there. They hung in there and they could have won. They could have won easily. They were stronger than the North. I don't think that MAGA is stronger than democracy. They're not. But they are loyal as fuck. And somebody who is loyal is more dangerous than somebody who is strong. So these motherfuckers are some of them are on some kamikaze mission for this man. And I'm just trying to figure out, well, where were y'all on Saturday afternoon? Where were you? You know what I mean? Because that's all last summer, all of those rallies had way more people than showed up for his parade. Now, I mean, was this parade the last straw for some people? Was that the nail in the coffin? Like, oh no, we're not doing this, because food is not going down; it's going up. You know what I mean? And gas is still $3 a gallon where I live. It is what it is. Bill Desmond says he sued and won. He also got sued and lost. I mean, what about that? 34 felony accounts, that little sexual assault thing. But yeah, that don't mean nothing to y'all, because he says he's innocent, so that's bigger and more powerful than a jury, than laws, than the legal system. Okay, I get it. I would love to have seen how they would have handled if Biden got convicted of a felony, just one, or if he accepted a plane from Qatar. I would have loved
that. Would have never been acceptable ever.
Biden, Obama, even Bush. I would have loved to see how motherfuckers would have handled it if he did any of the outwardly corrupt things that Donald Trump do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, after a while, there's only so much that you can sweep under the rug. The rug ain't even on the floor no more. It's a covering. The rug is more like a blanket now. It ain't on the floor. You can't sweep this shit under the rug.
No. No. No.
And you talking about, he says, Biden could walk or talk clearly. Trump is fucked up too. Y'all got all y'all eggs. Y'all got all y'all eggs in the basket of a 79-year-old man. What do y'all think this motherfucker is Jesus? How long do you think he going? Do y'all understand the human body? You know what? I'm curious. How long if y'all parents are still alive, or if they passed, how old did they live? Like, what do y'all think this? Like, this motherfucker got motherfuckers thinking that he in his 50s or something. He's 79. I know what happens to a man's body when he gets into his 70s if he makes it. If he make it into his 80s, shit starts breaking down. Man, shit is like chewing butter.
Well, he moves and talks like somebody who's in his 70s.
Listen, man.
And
yeah.
At that point. Like, my dad is in his 80s and he's not as bad as his psycho is.
But just like cats like Bill and other cats are hanging in with this cat, I'm like, but where were you on Saturday? Where were you? Because you ain't gonna tell me that motherfuckers are steadily paying high gas prices, high food prices, high can't afford to buy a home, all this old shit, taxes and all of that. And you're not gonna tell me that you can look at a military parade and be like, yeah, I guess I'm all right with that. What the fuck? Huh?
Well, what did they say? It was only like 3 Republicans out of 50 who plan to attend anyway, of his people who plan to attend.
Oh, Bill says you was at your friend's father's funeral. Rest in peace to your peoples. But this is bigger than you, Bill. I mean, they was expecting 250,000. That's $250,000. It wasn't even 50,000. That's quarter of $250,000. What are we doing? I listen. One thing about Donald Trump is he's a numbers guy. Well, where the fuck was the numbers? That shit was ass. For real.
And that pissed him off like nothing. That pissed him off to another. That's why he did the baby tantrum and went on and made that post.
I'm not as worried about him, or it doesn't satisfy me that he's pissed off. I want to see motherfuckers who support him pissed off, because he got to fucking go. So somewhere along the line, he has to do something to make motherfuckers jump off of this train, because you can't keep riding it. You just can't. He's putting America first. First in what? What are you talking about?
First of embarrassment.
Like, you know what?
To be attacked, first to be ridiculed.
He's putting America first.
First to implode.
What president didn't put America first? Like, what is
this
that?
This one didn't. This one hasn't. He's not putting this country first. He's putting himself first and his interests first. He's not even putting his family first. He don't even give a fuck about them. He don't even give a damn about his own children. So why would we think he gives a damn about us?
Yeah.
He doesn't think about this country.
Egotistically, I think he believes in the America first thing, because I think he considers himself to own America for right now, for the time being.
Do you think he believes in it, or he just likes to say it?
Well, let me look at it. Let me put it this way. I'm from Philly, born and raised. So when I'm on my shit, this is my city. You understand what I mean? This is my shit. Now, when they raise taxes, when they booting cars and they putting and when they're performing all of this gentrification and shit like that. No, it's not my city when that's going on. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. When like, nah, this ain't my city. When they killed my young boy, my man LGP Qua, like that's not my city. That did it for me. That got me. That literally derailed me off of the Philly train. I'm sick of this shit. I'm not just sick of the government. I'm sick of the fucking people. But that's me. So with Donald Trump, I could see how him feeling like this is his country because he was born, raised here. His strongest relationships were formed here. This is where he built himself up, or you know, he was his legacy, and you know, I mean, he was, he was born rich and all of that. But you understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I think he believes that this is his country, and he's putting America first, even if he puts himself first. But that doesn't mean, it's just like my family is my family. Do I feed everybody in my family though? You understand what I'm saying? So it'd be one thing if I feed them when they're hungry, if I take care of them when they need it. But even if I don't, they're still my family. So he may take that approach. But once again, I don't really give a fuck I don't give a fuck whether he comes, goes, lays, stays, or prays. I need him to fuck on up out of here. And the only way to get him the fuck on up out of here is to get other people who were on his train off of it. And I'm wondering if Saturday is symbolic of people jumping ship. Because you're not going to tell me that non-Trump supporters are the only ones that are pissed off with him. You're not going to tell me that shit. Some things don't need to be said. You don't have to tell me that you're sick if I see you coughing and sneezing and your face is all red and you're looking and your eyes are watering and you're weak and you're visibly chilly and all that. You don't have to tell me you sick. I see it. So evidence of his support up until now has been the numbers. He says it all the time. It's all about ratings for him. It's all about the crowd sizes for him. Well, where the fuck were they at?
I believe those people have long ago given up. Like I said, I believe it's a lot of people with buyer's remorse.
Hold on a second.
You have a call from
Truly.
Oh, the thing about it is, I know that there's some people who looking at it like buyer's remorse and all of that shit. But this motherfucker made up an election being stolen. Got these motherfuckers to perform a whole insurrection, attack the Capitol of the United States. Got them to do that shit, released them. How do you fucking do that and get reelected? So this motherfucker is a hell of a cockroach. You know how they say the cockroaches were here before we got here and they'll be here when we're gone. He like the fucking Green Mile. Nothing is killing this motherfucker. And he needs to be. Damn, I guess I can't say that. If I say that, YouTube be like, that did it, motherfucker. That did. But he has to go. He has to go.
This is going to be one that is going to. It's not going to be what he anticipates, and it's going to be far worse than anyone could expect. I believe he is digging that he is not going to be able to endure. I think it's going to be horrific. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like. Because you can't continue doing these things and expect nothing to come from it. And it's just going to always be peaches and cream. You can't.
Yeah. Anybody else, I would say that they can't keep doing this. Not with him.
I mean, everybody has a moment. It's not as easy as to just let go like that. just when it comes, and it's just gonna be something terrible.
I'm just saying, like, motherfuckers. I don't understand how cats can be loyal to somebody like this. I don't see it. But they are dangerously loyal to this motherfucker. Ain't nobody ever ride for no American president. He's the first. This motherfucker do shit that nobody else can or would do. And no matter what, they find a way. They find a way to protect him. They find a way to justify it. They find a way to excuse it. He can say whatever he wants, do whatever he wants, act any kind of way. I mean, the shit is remarkable. It's different. It's different. He and it's fucked up because now he is normalizing his abnormal behavior to the point where he's like it's embarrassing for me to be up here talking about there's nothing we can do about this cat. But you're talking about twice impeached with an insurrection, a conviction for sexual assault, and 34 counts of felonies, and he got reelected? What the fuck?
Again, that's gonna it's still he still is gonna have to answer. It's not gonna be pretty or sweet when it comes down. I don't know what the it is, but we've seen this happen. We've seen people who live their lives in such a destructive way, in such a chaotic way, in such a horrible way, that when it happens, and you just like, damn.
Nah, wow. I ain't never seen nothing like this in all my years. Nothing remotely close. Everybody I know who has done what he's done has seen the precinct, has either seen the feds or went upstate. Everybody.
That's why I said when it happens, because he thinks he's untouchable, and those are the people who get it because he thinks he's untouchable. And I do believe in karma, and the way the karma's coming for that ass is gonna be something terrible and horrific.
Yeah, this is this is some shit. Troy, what up?
What up? How's everybody doing? What's going on, family?
Yeah, I mean,
how you doing, Miss Kim?
How you doing, Troy?
Feeling like a real man should. You already know.
Yeah. Well, I feel your frustration, man. You know what I mean? I feel like when I hear you speaking, I feel like the end of Tony song, when you said, I feel it all in my feet. I feel it all in my bones. I'm feeling it all in my feet, my bones when you speak, son. I call you son because you shine like one.
Yeah, this shit is just.
Yeah, man, the whole thing about it is that, I mean, when we talk about presidents, we talk about presidents with high morale. We talk about presidents. We know that there's nobody perfect. We know the human side of life, that you're going to make a mistake. But to be this asinine and stupid and ignorant and just, I mean, to say things out your mouth and have other people believe you. You know what I mean? It's like they went and put a chip in these people's head and they follow them. I'm looking at what Bill says, you know, and whoever you vote for, Bill, is who you vote for. But it's like you're not holding them accountable. You want to keep saying, you want to brag about whatever he did, but whatever he did must not affect you, and it must affect millions of other people instead of you. There's so many times, Bill, that you can sit back and let this man teabag you and accept his bullshit. You know, you have to sit back and have an understanding. You have to have an understanding that it's going to take, regardless of the parade, regardless of all the people that didn't show up, regardless of all that shit, the bottom line is going to take the separation and the splitting down of the Republican Party and MAGA. It's going to take people, it's going to take somebody to just sit up in here and say, like the situation when that state senator in California got locked up, you cannot be politically correct. You have to be angry now. You have to throw some profanities out on television. I'm tired of this fucking shit. I'm tired of this shit. I don't know what it's going to take. The way you're talking is the way somebody from the Republican Party got to talk. Because that's the way Donald Trump talking. I mean, from the Democrats got to talk. Or somebody from the Republican Party. Somebody got to branch away from being politically correct or be incorrect and say how you feel from your heart. And that's going to make people look at you. That's going to make Good Morning America look at you. That's going to make CNN, Fox, all these other channels going to say, this person with high morals, he's never done this in his life. What made him snap like this? I don't want to see no tears. Somebody, when Chuck Schumer got up there and said what he said, you should have been cursing your ass off. You haven't heard shit from Nancy Pelosi because there's so much political dirt that people are doing. Everybody's scared to speak up. And when they talk so timid, that they scared. They sound like bad little Shetrock from off the Flintstones. Wowsy, woo, woo. You cannot do it. You have to be angry. And with being angry is going to open the door for frustration from everybody else. Like with Jasmine Crockett, I love you, Jasmine. Stop cursing. Bring your ass to the forefront even more. I'm telling you, as soon as somebody get that frustration in, and that shit boils off, and you can see they hit, imagine they head flipping, their top, you're going to see a different response.
Response
you
by
gotta
who?
talk like him. What makes him is the way he's talking. He thinks he's every man's man, but like you said, he's a pussy. He's a pussy. Yes, we know this.
Well, evidently, a lot of people don't know it. But see, here's the thing. Whenever Democrats start talking, cursing or showing their frustration, don't nobody really give a fuck about none of that shit, because at the end of the day, he can win with just his words. But Democrats are going to have to show and prove, and they're going to have to show and prove 2 and 3 times over where he doesn't have to do shit. He can just say some shit, throw some shit out there. Motherfuckers are chew on it like vultures do to dead meat. You know what I mean? And it's all good. And that's what's becoming normal. But like I said, the reason I'm wondering if the lack of participation or the lack of attendance at that military parade is indicative of people of the waning support for him, or a shift in support for him. That's something that we can kind of build on, because all right, this motherfucker. Oh, hold on, my G. I got you. Yeah. If that's how that's happening, then, or if that's what's happening, yeah, that's something that we can really build on, because that's what it's going to have to take. At some point, motherfuckers gotta stop listening to him. He wins because he holds people's attention, and he promises them shit, and they treat him like he has delivered on promises, and he hasn't. You know what I was thinking of, man? I think it's interesting that nobody has asked him, that I'm aware of. Now, if y'all have seen some reporters or interviewers ask him this, I'm interested to know. Remember, in his first term, he ran on building the wall. And he started building it. He didn't get that much of it built, but he started building it. Nobody asked him, yo, why don't you finish building the wall? Like nobody, like nobody, the people don't call him on certain shit. Like in his first term, before he got elected, he said that the IRS was a scam and that he was going to get rid of it. I ain't hear nobody ask him about that shit. Now he readdressed it in this term, talking about, yeah, we going to get rid of the IRS and tariffs are going to help us get rid of it and blah, 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 blah. But the motherfucker don't understand how tariffs work. Well, let's say he does understand. I know what he does understand. He understands that he can skim money off the top or deal from the bottom of the deck and he can line his pockets. He overstands that part. So, but you know, like, so nobody gonna ask him about the wall. That was his signature. That was his signature legislation in his first term.
Well, the thing is, he's included it as part of his big dumb deal.
What, the wall?
He's already allocated $46 billion is earmarked for 1,700 miles of fencing.
Okay, cool.
He's folded that into that. He's included that into part of the bill.
Okay.
I can understand the wall, son. If I was a news person and I was in that, and if I had a chance to ask him a question, the question I would ask is, you're so focused on immigration, right? Are there white immigrants and Asian immigrants, immigrants of any other culture that is?
He's going after anybody who's not Anglo-Saxon. So there's that. He's been picking up Asian people going in the Asian communities too. He's going to every community.
But you don't hear about that. You hear about
you don't.
You hear about
it in other press. You don't hear it in the big media, but there's talks about it. It's just not as big as a conversation. It doesn't sound as intriguing to racists who prefer to look at anyone who is brown as a negative Nancy. So that's the reason why. And to answer your question, people have asked him about the wall, but what they do is that stupid ass dumb bitch he has, who is his press secretary, she cuts it off immediately and starts, her response is, we're building faster than ever. And then they go on to the next question.
She's a Stepford wife.
Okay. All right.
I think she's a dangleberry and a crease his ass.
If it's been addressed, if it's been addressed, it's been addressed. You know what I'm saying? I just, with all of this shit that I watch, I thought I would have saw it, on a live feed. But it's cool. All right. I mean, if the information is the information. Listen. I don't, and even with the whole racism thing with him, we kind of got to get off of that because that shit ain't working. That shit ain't working. You know what I mean? All right, he's a racist. Don't give a fuck about that. We gotta get to the point because that shit ain't moving the needle because nobody's going to admit that they are racist or that he's a racist or whatever. And shit, it don't even really matter. What we need is for some action. This cat gotta go. You know what I mean? We need fresh ideas. We need better ideas. We need stability. And one thing he's not capable of is stability. It's always on to the next thing, on to the next thing. That would be okay if he was like working at a regular job, but he's all over the place. It's like a jack of all trades.
Did y'all hear what he said at the G7 about Russia?
Yes, but this ain't the first time he's been saying this shit about Russia.
No.
He said it in his first term too.
The thing about it is that he's so unaware and so stupid, man. He must don't realize the reason Russia was kicked out there. out the G7 when it was the G8.
He
The
know.
reason why
He knows why.
the war with Ukraine was started. You don't know that.
Yo, he been briefed on that. Yes, he do. See that
I think he repeated that the way he repeated that like a little kid who just learned how to spell a word. He repeated that like he just learned that in history class. Like they just told him and he repeated it.
He repeats a lot of things like he just learned it. But the thing is, you gotta understand his manipulation of the media. He knows that nobody gives a fuck if he know it or not. If he says it, they gonna latch on to it, even though they know better.
I think a lot of that is by design. Like chaos is his thing because he knows it wears people out. If everything's on fire, folks stop noticing what's going on in the background. They don't notice the match that's lighting the fire and setting everything ablaze. So he does a lot of these things by design. Now, it's an embarrassment, of course, because you went all the way to the G7 summit to say the most ignorant things that you could come out of your dumb little lips. Again, embarrassing. Because I'm looking at the face of the people with him. Susie, 1920, is sitting there looking at the look on her face is always shocked, but it's like, bitch, you knew what you were getting into.
Mm-hmm.
And Marco Rubio is sitting there looking stupid too, like an idiot. Like the little ass-kissing boy he is. That's what he's saying there looking like. And when he says these things, when he said that GA thing, everybody's face was like, oh my God, shut up. Please stop talking. Somebody wrangle him in.
But the thing is, he knows that much of the American public is just as ignorant as he is.
Of course.
So they gonna ride for that shit, even if it's the wrong information. That's where we are with it.
The poorest, stupidest people who I just cannot understand that. It's the poorest of the poor and the people who lack, I'm not going to say stupid, but they lack a lot of education. And they are the ones who latch onto these idiot words he uses, and they just absorb it. And I don't understand that for the life of me. I know it's not meant for me to understand. That's why I don't. But I just cannot wrap my brain around that insanity. These are people who don't even recognize that he does not give a shit about them because they will never have the money, because he cares about money. We know that. He cares about money and his ego and his own whatever he needs to feel like somebody likes him. That's what he cares about. And these people don't even recognize that he doesn't give a shit about them. And I don't understand it. And I think it's because he says the things he says, and they latch on to that because they need something to fuel their ignorance.
I also feel, you're correct on that, right, Kels? And I also feel as though a lot of people just think that he ran for president because he wanted to be president. So he ran for president because his punk ass didn't want to get locked up.
Yeah, the first time he ran just because he ran. This time it was the motivation behind it.
Get locked up. His ass, yes, them federal crimes are going to be wiped away. But them state, dang it. When he get in his office, them state crimes is there waiting for him, like, how you doing? He still has crimes that he has to answer for when he leaves. Just the same way Larry Hoover, that he pardoned, he got rid of them federal crimes for Larry Hoover, but Larry Hoover has 200 years in prison and state crimes. So regardless of what you do to try to, that's why he's talking about wanting to be a king, because he knows once he gets out of office, he still has to answer for them crimes.
No, he doesn't.
Even for state crimes?
Oh, for the state crimes. Oh, yeah. Well, shit. After he get finished with this shit, he might not. Man, he fucked up the executive branch like crazy, man. You know what I mean? Courts mean nothing to him right now. Why you think he keep violating court orders? You know what I'm saying? Like he got that immunity shit down pat. Ain't nothing gonna happen to him when he walk out of office this time. He gonna have to do something so catastrophic.
Once he become a civilian again, son, Anything can happen, bro.
I'm gonna tell you like this, though. I'm gonna tell you like this, Troy.
I'm not going to give society. I'm not going to make society think they that much of a stunt, or these judges to make them feel like they that much of a dunce. Right now, they might feel incapable or not willing to do much because they might be nervous in certain situations that he can do. But when he on the IRS, the FBI, the CIA, and everybody else, things change.
Y'all talking like this man gonna make it to the end of this term. I don't think he's gonna survive into the end anyway.
Listen,
something makes him 4 years.
Kim, check this out. I'm not trying to depend on the other team forfeiting in order to win. That's what I'm not counting on. So I'm not waiting for him to finish no term or to die in office. Fuck all of that. I want this motherfucker out of here. And I want it guaranteed. And this time, I don't want him to be put back in there regardless of his age. I don't want to hear none of that shit. He got to go.
He does.
He has to go. But like I said, I'm not trying to win by forfeit or hope or win on a technicality or some kind of disqualification. Fuck that. You know what I mean? He got to go.
I'm not going to sit on here. I would never wish ill will to no person. I'm not going to do that, but I will.
Let me do it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What you say?
I said, let me do it. I wish ill will on. I don't give a fuck out of here. God ordained me. God ordained me to wish ill will on certain motherfuckers, and I'm gonna do it. I follow the Lord.
But the thing about it is that I have to keep faith in understanding that when enough is enough, there's going to have to be some people stepping away from the Republicans splitting down the middle and the Democrats stepping up and stop being quiet and start being mad. And there's no way you got the devil in here.
Go ahead, man. Talk your shit, man. Talk your shit.
I'm going to pay the rent.
I'm revivaling.
You know, and the thing is that it only takes one person to just get up there and continuously stop making this a Democrat and Republican thing and start humanizing it, start making it a human thing. It's a democracy thing. It's a human thing. I start sitting there for Republicans. Both of them need to be ashamed of themselves. They have to be ashamed of themselves. What makes it even worse is that they're not speaking up because they're the filth and the dirt in the bowels of Congress and Senate is what's making it bad. So now this motherfucker coming in, and he's the worst of the worst of all of them, and y'all scared to speak up because y'all know y'all had your hand in the cookie jar for years. Yes, Miss Pelosi. Yes, Chuck. Yes, any other Democrat. Yes, Republicans. Y'all scared to speak up because y'all bitches. So it has nothing to do with Republicans and Democrats. It has something to do with the human side of who we are as individuals. That's what it has something to do with. You know, I yield.
You yield back? Are you reclaiming your time, man?
My time. I yield back.
All right. Well, look, all I'm saying is this. Because all this talking and all this shit, and, trying to get motherfuckers to see the light when it comes to Donald Trump, that shit ain't none of that shit working. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Because all MAGA say when you start kicking facts is y'all just mad, y'all just belly aching because y'all didn't win. Y'all lost. I'm like, God damn. So that's like the middle finger, that the reverse middle finger or whatever. So just like if you want a business to listen to you about injustice, you gotta affect them, and you gotta affect them financially. They understand money. And with him, he understands money too.
And a lot of
And that's
people
all
don't
he
know right
really.
now that the fix might be in on him because you don't hear nothing about Vance. You don't hear nothing. You don't see shit about him. You don't hear nothing about him.
Well, why would
You don't
you?
hear nothing about him. So because they might be protecting him, son. They might be protecting him from himself. Shut the fuck up. We might
The
need
vice
you.
president. You don't really hear a lot from vice
Nah,
presidents.
you never heard about no vice president.
But you do hear some things about what they have them doing sometimes. Maybe once or twice or three times a month you will hear, well, Vice President so and so is here.
Well,
Vice President so and so is here.
he killed the
You
Pope.
don't even hear when he goes. You don't even hear that when he stumped his toe.
He just killed the Pope a couple of months ago. What you want? I mean, there you go. Boom, bam. All right, so he popped out to gang up on Zelensky, and then he killed the Pope.
Stupid boy.
You know what I mean? You listen, you better stop talking shit before he come to your hood. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Vance is dangerous. I ain't gonna interview him on my show. Like, nah. I'm good. Like, yeah, it'll bring a lot of people. Nah. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Fuck around, and kill my cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing wrong with Crystal until that motherfucker till he came through. I'm good. So, yeah.
Man, I know one thing. The farmers is upset. Some people out in the middle in the Bible Belt in the middle of America, they hurting. You heard the terrorists in the US aid program. It was this one lady I seen on YouTube. She was like, I was getting 100% of our funds to support our family came from us supporting the U.S. AIDS program with wheat. That's gone. I don't know what we're gonna do. Well, go vote for him again. You'll find out. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to hear. I don't want to hear people who are talking about, can y'all help us? Can you march with us? Listen, I'll show you empathy and sympathy. Yes, I will. But at the end of the day, it takes me out when they sit back and they talk that bullshit after they voted for him. Y'all voted for him. Y'all gave him 50%. Y'all gave him 50%. And with that 50%, that put him a little bit. That put him a lot over.
That's delusional. People thought they were going to have a windfall. That's what that is. Delusional people thought they were going to have a windfall. Unfortunately, my former friend thought he's going to have one. He still thinks he is. Or they fed into the lies, because again, it's a lot of them who still are stuck on some. Democrats are trying to make your kids gay. If they go to school, they can have a surgery and come out transgender. And for the life of me, I don't understand why anybody will believe that.
I'm still trying to see how two mice can become transgender.
Child, who did they tell, though? Who did they tell? Listen, that's what he said the other day. He said the Democrats want transgender for everybody. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean that the Democrats want transgender for everyone? What does that mean? We get someone who's transgender, who's our friend? I don't understand. What does it mean? It's insanity. And it's like people latched on to that dumb ass stuff. It's like, did you not hear what he said? Did you misread it or something? Because it doesn't make sense.
Well,
the thing about it is that I don't even give a fuck if they transgender. I don't give a fuck as long as I work transgender boosting. I need to buy some shit from people, and they're the best boosters ever.
I'm not going to participate.
I'm not getting into no transgender conversations. I'm not fucking with that. But the reason I'm not is because Not because I don't support him, because I don't, but because it don't move shit. You know what I mean? Like MAGA, they keep you thinking about fucking, transgender and all of that shit. Meanwhile, they picking your pockets and fucking your shit up, all everywhere else. I'm not with all of that. Fuck all that. Fuck all that transgender shit. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all not important right now. Y'all not. Y'all not. Like y'all struggle got to take a back seat until we get more comfortable. Until you get a Democrat in the White House, y'all got to take a back seat. Y'all got to, take one for the team. Fuck out of here. I'm not trying to enter that shit. I'm talking about tariffs.
What do you think has to be done for this for his downfall?
He has to piss off his constituents to the point where they no longer believe in him, so they will no longer follow him. He has to be put in a position where he is finally discredited towards them, or according to them, he has to no longer be credible. They still find him to be credible. I mean, that's incredible in and of itself, but he has to have his credibility diminished, abolished, done, finished. That's the only way. It's the only way. Anything else?
What is it going to take to do that?
Well,
because nothing seems to work.
Well, I'm not so sure. That's why I keep bringing up that parade on Saturday, because that's
still not enough people. That's just a handful. I mean,
that's not.
It's a nice crowd, but it's still not enough.
That's not. No. That was a big deal. They came. Look, you see how many people came out to his inauguration, and they had to stand outside, but they showed up for that.
There was more people at the insurrection than he was at that damn birthday thing he had.
Yeah, I'm just saying, he did, for that to be a whole parade route and all of that for less than 15,000 people to attend that sounds like it's sending a message. Now you got to understand, the military was sending a message with the way that they were by the way that they weren't marching in lockstep. You know what I mean? Their message is being sent. They might not be overt. They might not be outright. They might not be screaming to the hilltops. But that's how you take a business out. You just stop shopping there. You ain't gotta say a whole lot. You hit them where it hurts. So he puts a lot of stock in crowd sizes and in where money is concerned. So if people aren't coming out anymore, or not coming out as much in the same kind of numbers, that that means you can't sell as much. And it may be indicative that, like, yo, I'm not buying this shit that he's selling anymore, literally and figuratively. Like, it's too much. You talking about you putting America first, but you're not putting me first. You said that you were going to put us first. You said you were going to lower these prices of gas and grocery bills and make housing affordable and all of this other shit. And you've done the complete opposite. And we supposed to still keep believing in this shit. Meanwhile, you keep going in a totally different direction. And I'm also not underestimating the impact that Elon Musk going against Trump may have had also.
But they back being buddies all over again. So
how in what way?
Because Elon is still supporting him and saying the things he's saying. He's removed all the negative things he said in
it doesn't matter.
Mild apology.
Ain't nobody forgot what he said. Ain't nobody. You can remove the post. The internet. Somebody got that post still. You know what I mean? Millions of people have screenshot that post. So you can take it down all you want. We don't need the reference. We saw it. We
Pretty
saw
much
it. We
it's the
heard
same
about
thing
it.
in court. Son, it's the same
Well,
thing
they
in court.
starting to make up, so.
They say shit in the
But he never
lawyer,
had any credibility to begin with, so there's that.
Who
the
didn't have any
prosecution,
credibility to
and the
begin with?
damn defense attorney say something they're not supposed to say, and the judge say erase that from there. You
Yeah,
can't erase
strike that from the record. Like strike what? Strike it from my
From the
motherfucking
record.
from my damn eardrums and my brain. Motherfucker, I heard it. And so and lawyers know to do that shit. They know once you hear shit, you know what I mean? Even though you can't present it as evidence, they know that you heard what you heard and it's going to influence you. So regardless of what you may think of Elon or Trump or whatever, the bottom line is people believe in them because they got money. And no matter what, no matter how illogical some of the things that they do may be and may sound, motherfuckers are always going to ride for them because they have money. And they will listen to them before they listen to you. Because they figure somewhere along the line, they'll get paid off of them, but not you. And at the end of the day, you find out that all motherfuckers care about is getting paid. So it ain't just rich people who believe in the almighty dollar as they God. It's a bunch of middle class and underclass people who believe in this shit too. It's just that they, instead of having the money, they making it on the dream. So you got one power in the car off of the gasoline, and the other one power in the vehicle off of the fumes. But what it's going to take to get Donald Trump up out of there is people have to stop being on his side, on his train, in the car with him. You got to find a way to get him off of it. And I think that the first step has been taken. Now, am I totally right? No way I can prove that I am. Now, I don't even think I'm totally right, because there was still some people out there, but nowhere near what it should have been. Nowhere near where it should have been. So just like these No Kings protesters are protesting all around the country and all of that kind of shit, they're making an impact as well. But an impact of numbers can also be compared to an impact of the reduction of numbers. So just like Target lost all of this money because people were told that they shouldn't shop at Target and they didn't. Now that wasn't just people who were against DEI and all of that kind of shit. There's no way I'm going to believe that. Shit, Republicans buy shit too. MAGA motherfuckers, they shop at Walmart, they shop at Target, they shop. They spend their money. They spend their money just like anybody else. And some of them have feelings. Some of them, just not the ones on TV. But you know, something is happening. Shit, even on social media, I see motherfuckers trying to defend Trump. It's getting harder and harder. It's getting harder and harder. They running, they ducking and hiding, man. For real.
Trying to defend him is trying to defend OJ.
No, it wasn't. Defending OJ wasn't all that hard.
Well, no, it wasn't hard. It was hard enough.
Not when you saw the evidence. Wasn't no way OJ was getting convicted. No fucking way.
I was just trying to understand. You got a footprint. You had the gloves.
Yeah. If you watch the real trial of OJ, you realize, see, you can't watch the highlights and think you know that story. There was no way that OJ was going to get convicted of those murders. When you watch the trial and considered the evidence that the prosecution had against him, there was no way he was going to get convicted. No fucking way. And it wouldn't have mattered if it was a black jury or a white jury. There was no evidence that was going to convict OJ. No way. But if you watch only the highlights, if you only watch little sound bites and, you know what I mean? If it doesn't fit, then you must have. Of course, because you don't know the fucking story. It's like thinking you know somebody's autobiography because you saw the movie, but you didn't read the book. The motherfuckers who read the book, they know the real story. The motherfuckers saw the movie, they saw, the cameras, the lights, the cameras, the shit that make it. They saw a movie. They saw, what I was thinking about today. I was thinking about two movies. I was thinking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I was thinking about Training Day. Now, if you remember both of those movies, Ferris Bueller did all of this shit in one fucking day that he didn't go to school. All of this shit. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You fucked up a car and fixed the car in one day. Where? You know what I mean? You had time to go to a parade in Chicago, made your way onto the float as a feature in one day. And it's just a day that you didn't go to school. You hooky school one day and all this shit happened. Look at Training Day. At the beginning of the movie Training Day, Denzel got his partner high on angel dust. If you've never had dust before, you ain't seeing the rest of that day until 2 days later. But in this movie, Training Day all happened in one day. One fucking day. There was so much going on that you forgot that all of this happened in one day. So he took down Denzel while being high on dust. His first day as a partner being a cop in one day. That's the kind of shit that the media will have you forgetting. Like all of this happened in one day. Now try that at home. Try Ferris Bueller's Day Off at home. Try Training Day at home.
I mean, I was like, I can agree on that, son. And this is not me bullshitting, because I was somewhere. Oh no, yeah, I was just leaving out of a store, and somebody was talking some shit about movies.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't just making shit up. And they was talking about they was talking about rap music.
Okay.
And then I had elaborated. I was like, it's just like, they talk about how this person's better than that person. I said, it's just like when you talk about Eminem and 50 Cent. You sit back and you talk about 8 Mile, the movie 8 Mile, and everything, how good Eminem was in it. And people keep forgetting that Eminem played the guy named Rabbit that was based off a story about Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you can perform that. He should have got an Oscar for that because he was playing himself.
But there was no book
trying about 50 Cent in his record.
Yeah.
He did a marvelous performance. Okay. His acting is tremendous. Well, I'm pretty sure if Son's going to play in the first movie about Sun 752 live streaming on YouTube, you're going to get a Golden Globe and an Oscar for doing that.
Well, no, you can't take it away. He had a good performance. Just because it's your life story don't mean that you can act. Look at Prince in Purple Rain. You can say whatever you want, but Prince was not a good actor.
He was good in that. He was good in that movie. Don't take that shit away. Stop talking bad about the purple one, man.
He can't act.
He was good in that movie.
Nah, he sucked. But the movie was good because we was young and we concentrated on all the fucking musical scenes. The motherfucker couldn't act worth shit. Like, if that's the way he really is in real life, we don't need to see none of his real life. Sing and play instruments through your whole life. Yeah. Apollonia, don't you like the way we are? Get the fuck out of here. Nobody talk like that, dickhead. Fuck out of here. Shit was terrible. The terrible script, terrible everything. Only thing real, the realest character in the whole genre was Billy. the club owner. What's this one song shit? Nobody understands your music but yourself.
So you mean the fighting with his father and all that stuff?
Oh my God, that was the corniest shit ever. Mom, Dad, the fuck.
It's all the it's all the theatrics like a woman that
his pop slapped the shit out of his ass like, breaking up a fight between your parents 101, Prince. First of all, don't yell out mom and dad. Second of all, don't give no indication of whose side you on. You know what I mean? If your dad wrong, just tackle the motherfucker. You know what I mean? Don't fight your pop. But definitely don't let him know let him see you coming with your high heel wearing, you know what I mean, shiny clothes wearing ass, frillies and all that shit. Fuck out of here. He knew his son was a punk. He slapped the shit out of his ass. Fuck out of here. that scene wasn't good. And no, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good acting. You never let me have any fun. Mom couldn't act. Dad couldn't act. The fuck? This bitch said, you never let me have any fun. The fuck kind of abusing has he done in this bitch? I ain't never heard no shit like that in all my days. I ain't never heard no chick. Many chicks I know they used to get their ass whooped by dudes. I ain't never hear one say, you never let me have any fun. Hold on. That shit is like Fall Out Boy. This ain't a chair. This is a goddamn horse race. Yo, I can't take it. No. Anyway. Like I said, we gotta get out of. We can't be going by headlines and shit like that. We gotta know the real story. You know what I'm saying? So the evidence that that support for Trump is waning it may start in the numbers. It may start in the numbers, and the numbers like that meant that he didn't sell. Remember, he sold tickets to the damn parade, dog. He sold tickets. Maybe they were the only ones who showed up. And they were saying, "Oh, the media trying to make Trump look like nobody showed up to his rallies, and they just showed the areas closest to Trump." Like, wouldn't that be the ones that would fill the fuck up?
They showed somebody did a 360 in it, and there was still the same number of nobodies.
Well, see, here's what I was wondering, and I'm hoping, I'm hoping that they didn't do some shit like get there early, and when people was still showing up and try to make it look like nobody wasn't there. Like, did they film it when it was at its capacity time? Like at the moment where the most people were there, were they filming at that time? Because like I said, man, the left wing, they push propaganda just like the right wing does. So you know what I mean? So
excuse me, I can't remember the guy's name, and I want to say it's Keith or something. I can't remember his name, but he was there during the entire thing because he was trying to interview people. And of course, that wasn't going great. People were angry. So he was there during the whole thing, and he filmed from every angle. He walked through the park or the mall or whatever. He walked through the grassy knoll, and he went as far as he could and walked through the whole thing, and he couldn't get any. It was still the same lack of people. So I don't think it was anything that was manipulated in this situation. But it's not uncommon. There were a lot of incidents, even when he was on the campaign trail.
Yeah, I saw that when they were showing when he was on the campaign trail. I saw when they saw people, you know, they showed people leaving his rallies and all that kind of shit. But they weren't, I mean, shit. I mean, they might not have just wanted to stay for the whole joint, but they showed the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the part. See, that's the way propaganda works. They just show you the actions, but they won't show you the reasons behind them and all of that. And that just doesn't paint an accurate story. Not good enough for me. Not good enough for me. You know, with the way Trump is, you don't have to manipulate any film. You don't have to edit anything out. What he actually does is good enough. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to doctor anything. All that does is give the other side a chance to discredit you. Why give them that? Just show what it is. Like, yo, this is the unedited shit. Look, it's long, but this is what it is.
The shit that fucked me up was when the tank was riding down the street and you can hear the squeaking of the tank.
Yo. See, and that's the thing.
That tank was on his last leg.
The thing is, you as heavy as a fucking tank is, there's no way you're not gonna hear it, even if it was a crowd. The thing is, we never see a tank going down any city streets. That's not what we do. Mm-hmm. We ain't nowhere where tanks are, and we're not supposed to be. This shit is ridiculous. This motherfucker got tanks going down the street and fuck, what is it, Pennsylvania Avenue? Where the fuck was? Yo, that shit crazy, man. That shit is fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Yeah, bringing all these. Let me hold on. Let me look up how much a tank. How much does the average American tank weigh? God damn. 54 and 66.8 metric tons. Huh?
Yeah.
Of course you're gonna hear that motherfucker. You're lucky the streets. If the streets had a subway in it, probably wouldn't have been able to do it. That's heavy as shit. The ML tank.
Of course you would have heard it, but it would have been a little bit more muffled had it had a bunch of people there.
Maybe.
That shit was like a fucking rusty swing.
And see, that's the other thing though, Troy. They can enhance that sound. They can make it, and trust me, they wouldn't hesitate to do it.
You cannot.
Yes, you can.
We see the things happening, but then you contradict what's happening.
I'm saying, the videos that we saw, did we see them live or did we see them recorded?
Well, I mean, it's apparent. I mean, unfortunately, we had to see it recorded. When they was coming down the street near him, he had a crowd near him. But if you're doing a parade, the whole parade route is supposed to be crowded.
No. I'm not denying that. But I just know how video.
Even across the street from him was empty.
No,
and you can see that when they was marching.
I'm not denying that you could hear the tank. What I'm questioning is whether you could hear it in the way that we heard it on a recorded video. Because I know how videographers do, especially when there's political motivation attached to it. You know what I mean? They figure, why not? They figure that the other side do it. They do anything to make Democrats look bad, so we'll do the same thing to them. Fight fire with fire. But then that's why both sides are discredited with a lot of people. And all I'm saying is that you ain't have to do that. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that that they enhance the audio, but I'm saying they could. That's all I'm saying. They could. You know, all you gotta do is equalize that shit. You know, if you know how to edit video, that means that you know how to equalize sound and mix it. You know, yeesh. But nonetheless, I will believe the the fucking what's the governor of California name? Newsom. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. I will believe his video. So he put it there. I know. I don't think he manipulated the video in any kind of way. So I'll fuck with his version. Shit is crazy. Shit is too much. All right, y'all. It's 4:00 in the morning. It's time for us to go.
It is, because I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it's that Manic Monday, baby. Manic Monday. But I appreciate y'all coming on. I appreciate y'all insight, y'all commentary, your intelligence, and even the way that y'all was dressed. Y'all look nice tonight.
And I appreciate your candor.
Yeah. Yeah, light a candor.
Very, very nice candor.
Well, everyone stay safe.
But hold on, but wait, just before y'all go.
That was said on here had my mouth agape, but
just before y'all go, let's do the results of the poll. The poll was, which political issue do you think is the most pressing and serious right now? Let's see. The big beautiful bill, 20%. And this is out of 44 votes. Okay. The war with I meant to write Iran. I wrote Iraq. My bad. The war with Israel and Iran, 30%. And 32% said tariffs, inflation, food and gas. And that was the most at 32%. So 18% says immigration, deportation, and protest. Interesting. Only 18% on that. Okay. So it was pretty close between the war between Israel and Iran and the tariffs. It's only a 2% difference. But
if we had a president and a team around him that was capable of dealing with war, I wouldn't have voted for that. But we don't have somebody that's capable and responsible enough to deal with war.
Well, he said, had he been president 4 years ago, there wouldn't be a war.
And now he's the president 4 years later, and it's more than one. So yay!
Says it wouldn't be a war.
Give it up for Trump. He gonna get rid of it in one day.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I'm still looking for him and Mariah Carey. One sweet day.
Well, I get nothing sweet from somebody's sour, though, unfortunately. So.
And I know you're gonna end the war in Ukraine. Yeah, like all those wars you ended back in the day. And I know that Iran will not fire no missiles. No missiles. One sweet day. Get the fuck out of here, man. This motherfucker just want to sing anyway. Let me get him the fuck out. All right, I'm gonna get with y'all later.
Much love, y'all.
All right, man. Peace. Y'all be safe.
All right, y'all. Wow.
All right, y'all. We have some. First of all, please, we only got 19 likes. Please get the likes up a little bit. You know what I mean? Increase the like count. Increase the like count. At least get it to over 20. It should have been like 50, but fuck it. We are where we are. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 16th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get Number one out the box, my girl, Stephanie Miss Tall Body Leary. And also, wait, let me get it right. Wachukwu, Faith Amanda. Happy birthday to you and Tamara Lindsay and Tiffany Wilson. And that's it. I want to say happy birthday. Wait a minute. That can't be it. Okay. Yes. That's it. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious June 16th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, listen, man, there's a whole lot going on. Only thing I really want to impress upon y'all is that I think at these times, these critical political moments in our history, I think we have to be very, very diligent and being careful about who we listen to, what we listen to, the way that we listen. We have to be discretionary about who is credible and who should be never taken seriously as far as having any credibility is concerned. But when it all comes down to it, you're going to have to do whatever is necessary to take care of you and yours. Because that's what it all comes down to. That's what it all boils down to. How are any of these things going to affect you and your family or your loved ones? You know, that should be the way that we vote, and that should be the way that we govern. It seems as though nowadays we're governing and voting more with our hearts instead of our brains. And I think that we may be moving in a direction where we have to start using our brains more. You know, when you really think about it, the brain is supposed to control all muscle functions and even sensory functions. So that would be the heart as far as pumping blood is concerned, and the heart as far as the way that you feel about things. I want to thank all of y'all for coming through and checking out the Daily Go Getimism show tonight. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. in the morning. We're here every night. So make sure y'all come through. And we will be talking some more of that old good stuff. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. At this time of morning, 4:10 in the morning, you either going to work or going to bed. Do both carefully and peacefully. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. All right.